What is up, sisters and misters? It is me, Mr. Junior, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to breed a 100% perfect IV genderless Pokemon. Now, if you see this Beldum here, he identifies as non-binary, which basically means genderless. So, let's go ahead and jump into the video, and I'm going to show you guys just how to do this. First thing you're going to want to do is to catch your Pokemon. So, I already showed you I'm using Beldum. I just saw one I've been flying around, so I'm going to jump off into this water because I don't actually know how to descend while flying on Pokemon. So, I'm going to go over here, engage this Beldum, put him to sleep with Spore, put him down to 1 HP with False Swipe so he's easier to catch, and then I'm just going to chuck Pokeballs until I get him. So we have our Beldum now, and something to keep in mind whenever you're getting your genderless Pokemon is make sure that you're getting one that has the nature that you want. So I caught my Beldum and made sure that the one that I have that I'm going to be using to breed has Jolly nature because that's the nature I want for my overall Pokemon. So you get your nature with your Pokemon, and then the next thing that we're going to do is get a Ditto. Now there's two ways that you can get a Ditto, and I'm going to show you just how you can get either of them. So the most common way that people know about getting a Ditto is by trying to clone a Mew. So if you try to clone Mew and it fails, it'll turn into a Ditto. But I believe that to be the worst way because you can't get a good Ditto. The Dittos will have completely random stats. So I'm going to do a little experiment real quick. And that experiment, I'm going to put up a bunch of different cloning chambers. And we're going to try to see if I catch combo the Ditto, if that'll be sufficient enough to try to get better IVs for the Ditto. So while attaining completely legitimate Mew for my experiment, this blue one popped up that I assumed to be sick or something. So I caught it, I inspected it, I assumed it to be infected with some kind of Pokevirus, so I went ahead and I deleted it because I didn't want it to affect any of my other Mew. For the experiment here, I went ahead and I set up about 50 different cloning chambers, and I went ahead and loaded them all with Mews, and I went ahead and also established them all with iron blocks so that the chances for them to be successfully cloned was very low because I was trying to ensure Dittos. So I'm just speeding through here, trying to catch every single one of these Dittos so that I can get my catch counter higher, because for those of you who may not know, when you have higher catch counters, so if you catch the Pokemon of the same type or the same Pokemon multiple times in a row, whenever you get larger catch counters, you have higher chances of getting shiny Pokemon as well as higher IVs. So like they'll have more perfect IVs guaranteed at certain catch combos. So I'm going through getting all of these, and eventually I run into this broken one, not really sure what that's about, and then there's this giant Barney looking dude that's in my way, so I just ignore him because I'm trying to finish my experiment, and then I'm just trying to get all these Ditto caught to see if the catch combo makes a difference using these cloning chambers. So I emptied out all the cloning chambers, caught all the Ditto that there were, and I'm going to go ahead and throw these first couple back into there because these would have been the first 5 of my catch combo. So I'm going to grab these last 5 and see if it makes a difference. So I'm going to go ahead, check some IVs, starting with IVs number 2, and then there are no perfect IVs. IVs number 3, 4, 5. So it does not look like it actually makes a difference if you use the cloning chamber and try to do catch combos. So I would definitely not suggest this method. And I'm checking some others just to see, and it looks like it's all RNG, so you would have to just get lucky enough to get a completely random good IV Ditto from the cloning machine. So the method I would actually suggest is this one coming up. Before we continue though, I'm going to come over here. Smeargle and I are going to make light work of this fool that was in our way during our experiment. So he hits hard, harder than we expected to, but hey, we can just put him to sleep, and oh, I came down to the wire right there. So we're just going to heal up real quick. Now that we know this fool can, slap down, we're gonna come back with a different approach. So we're gonna make sure that we keep him asleep, smack him down with some false swipes. He healed himself by putting himself back to sleep, so we're just gonna smack him down while he's asleep. I mean, hey, look, we ain't ashamed to do it. Put him asleep again, hit him with that false swipe, and we're gonna finish him off with a hyper beam. So we just knocked that mofo out, and all he did was give us some friendship dust. What is that? So the second and best way to collect Dittos, in my opinion, is the best way for sure, and that's by using the mystery box. So this is how you craft the mystery box. If you take a look here, you're going to use a ruby, 6 netherite scraps, a sapphire, and a nether star. So what the mystery box does is it'll spawn Meltan for 100 seconds after depositing 4 netherite scraps. So every time you use the mystery box, it increases how many netherite scraps it needs by 80%. So every time you use it, you can continue to use it, but it'll take more and more netherite scraps. But what you do is, as it's spawning these Meltan, the Meltan that spawn have a 75% chance of being a Ditto. And every time that you catch one of these Ditto, it'll have at least 3 perfect IVs. And if you're lucky, you can get a 4th or 5th or, potentially 6th if you're really lucky. So once you craft it, you're going to lay this down, and then you're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 in there, and then you're going to click it, and it'll go ahead and it'll start spawning some Meltan. Once the Meltan spawn, you're going to run around catching them, and as you can see, they're turning into Dittos. So you're going to go around and catch them using whatever method you like. I'm just using Master Balls for the sake of the video to make it easier, but you can catch them with Ultra Balls, Dust Balls, whatever it is. But because of it being a Ditto, it doesn't matter what Pokeball you catch it with, because it's the genderless Pokemon that you're breeding it with, in this case Beldum. That Pokemon's Pokeball is what's going to be passed down to the offspring. So I caught Beldum with a Pokeball, so that Pokeball is what's going to get passed down to the offspring, and then we're just going to observe, check out these Ditto's IVs afterwards, and see what we need. We got 5 Dittos, so I'm going to go through and check other IVs real quick, and after assessing, it'll be that which determines what the best course of action on how we can go about breeding these guys, so our breeding order. So after assessing them, it seems like we have a few that have 3 perfect IVs, and we have 2 that have 4 perfect IVs, which is pretty good because that makes it even easier to get a perfect 100% Pokemon. So now that I showed you how to use the mystery box, I'm going to show you how to get it. So in order to get the Nether Star, you're going to need to use one of the following methods. So the first one would be to defeat Zyregard. So to get Zyregard, you need 4 Ultra Deep Stone, you need 4 Emerald, and you need a Sunstone. So put them in this order, and what that's going to do is it's going to go ahead and it's going to make this Zyregard Cube. What that'll do is it'll allow you to start getting these items, and these are Zyregard cells, and you also have Zyregard cores. So you need the Zyregard core and cells to be able to actually put them together to make the Pokemon. So you're going to put those together in this item here. So you're going to grab your little reassembly unit, and the assembly unit is made by putting 2 glass panes, a moonstone, 2 emeralds, and 3 more of the deep sea stones that are needed to make the previous item as well. So you're going to take it, you're going to use these items. So I'm going to place it down. What you'll do is you'll get 1 core and 10 cells, and you can do the assembly. So whenever you get that amount, it'll only do 10% Zyregard, but that's all we need, because we just need the item that drops whenever you defeat him. And it doesn't matter which form you defeat, it'll still drop the same stuff. So you'll go ahead and use this method and then try to get a Nether Star from that. The other way that you can get a Nether Star is by following the instructions of one of these here. So if you were to take a look at it, you'll see that there's 6 Pokemon that drop Nether Stars total. So 5 of them spawn normally, and one of them, being Zyregard that I just showed you about, only spawns from using the reassembly unit. So they all have the same 10% chance of dropping the Nether Star, but they have different chances of spawning. So if you come out to the savannah like I did, you can encounter a totally legitimate Victini, and you can fight him until you potentially get lucky enough for him to drop a Nether Star. So easy way to go about it, just put him to sleep and then just keep smacking him down while he's asleep. And eventually you can get a Nether Star after completely legitimate attempts and not at all by cheating. Alright, so you caught your Pokemon that you're going to be breeding. You caught your Dittos. I showed you how you can get the Ditto by using the mystery box or by, doing the cloning chamber method. So choose whichever you would like. I would definitely suggest the mystery box method, although it may be a little more difficult to achieve. It gives you a lot better Ditto for breeding. So now that we have all that, let's get right into the breeding. Since we're breeding Beldum now, I'm going to go ahead and change the scenery a little bit. So I'm going to grab my camera with some film. I'm going to smack down this frame that's got this Charmander in it because that was the last breeding video. And now it's Beldum's time to shine. So we're going to go ahead and snap a pic, throw him up on the wall because he's our next 100% perfect Pokemon that we're going to be making. And we can proceed. So if we look through my Ditto, I have 2 that have 4 perfect stats that I'm going to use and 1 that has 3. So 1 has HP, attack, defense, whatever. So I need to get speed and special defense onto my Beldum, and then I can use the one that has perfect HP, attack, defense, and special attack. So I'm going to be going ahead and I'm going to be trying the Ditto here that has speed first. So I'm going to use this Ditto and I'm going to get speed, and then I'm going to try to get special defense, and then I'm going to swap from these 2 Ditto to the one that has the 4 IVs on the left here, this HP, attack, defense, special attack. So these 2 down here, just kind of backups. Those are ones I caught earlier, but I don't really think I'm going to be needing them. So I'm going to grab this one for its speed. And then, yeah, just to make sure. So speed, special defense. So let's go ahead, grab him. And then what I'm going to want to do is turn around here, grab this power anklet. I'm going to put the power anklet on this Ditto. And then I'm going to go ahead and also grab the Destiny Knot and Everstone. And then the power item for the special. Putting on the Everstone, though, so I can pass down the jolly nature of the Beldum. And first try here, we should get the IVs, the perfect speed that we want, because we're passing it down using the power items. So we got speed, special attack, and attack. So we got 3 perfect IVs, first egg, which makes this breeding method super easy. So we're already able to go ahead and upgrade the Beldum that we have. So we're going to name him just to make sure it's a little easier. I've got them named. Now that we have them named, I can swap the Dittos that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to take out this Everstone, and I also need to take out this power item. So I'm going to put the Everstone on the new Beldum that I'm going to be using. I can get rid of the original Beldum. And now, well, I was going to use the power item for the special defense, but I guess the Destiny Knot's the way to go because I want multiple IVs. So from here, we're going to want to try to change the Beldum if it's got speed and special defense. So the other stats don't matter, but because the last Ditto that I'm going to be using doesn't have speed or special defense, we want to make sure that the Beldum does, because we want those moves in the IV pool to be able to be potentially passed down from the parent. So we're going to keep going until we can get a Beldum that has the special defense and speed as well as whatever other stats. So it shouldn't take us too long, but whenever I get that, I'll be right back to show the upgrade. So after trying for a few times here, so let's see, I'm going to get lucky here, and hopefully I can get an egg that'll have what I need relatively soon. Let's take a look. So finally, okay, there we go. So I have an egg that has perfect speed, perfect special defense, and it has 2 additional stats, so special attack and attack. So now that I have a Beldum that has speed and special defense, I can start breeding it with the other Ditto that has the 4 perfect stats that I want to, you know, get my perfect IV Ditto. Well, not Ditto, Beldum, I mean. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to swap these guys out. So name him his stats to make sure that I stay organized here. Swap the Everstone so that I can keep my nature being passed down. So I'm going to pull this Beldum out, move this guy over, and then I'm going to take the Destiny Knot off this Ditto. Then I'm swapping out my Ditto. So now I'm going to start using this Ditto. And then what I'm going to be looking for from here is to be trying to get all the stats that I have on the Beldum I have now, plus some stats. So we're going to keep going until I can manage that. I've gotten several that were the same exact stats as what I have now, and I've also gotten several that had 5 perfect IVs, but they kept missing special defense, so I can't replace what I have now because I need special defense and special defense. But I finally got this Beldum that has 5 perfect IVs, so it has everything but HP, so I can replace it with what I'm using now because that parent that we have here, he has HP. So the Ditto has perfect HP, so we're just going to continue to use the Ditto here, and we're going to try to use this all but HP Beldum now to continue. So from here, what I'm going to want to swap for is either like a 100% or a Battle Perfect. So the Battle Perfect would be missing its special attack, but it would have the HP 100%. So the HP value for its IV would be 31. So we're just looking for either a battle perfect or a 100% at this point would be the only upgrades that we could really get for our Beldum. See, I got another one that is perfect everything but HP, so hopefully here soon. Oh, okay, there we go. So that's an upgrade that I've been waiting for. So the one that I just got is a battle perfect Beldum. So this Beldum has everything that I need besides the perfect special attack, which isn't needed. The 100% is just, for vanity, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to go for it. So now that I have the battle perfect Beldum, the only thing I need to do is get that final stat, which is going to be completely random. And with the Ditto missing 2 stats, it's going to be a while. So, wow. Oh my goodness. So the very next egg right after that battle perfect, I almost get a 100%. So that's pretty sad. So I'm going to go ahead and I can replace it out from here just because that's still a nice Beldum. So that's a 99%. It's only missing 1 IV. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that because it's also bigger size. So I like bigger Pokemon. So not that I'm going for gigantic or anything like that right now because it gets way too complicated with like Genderless, and I'm trying to keep it simple for people to understand. So we'll be right back whenever we get an upgrade. So I've went through like 40 different eggs so far. I've been trying to get the... Oh, yes. Okay. I almost missed it. So I got an upgrade there, so I can get rid of these 2 eggs because I don't need these guys. So let me try to make sure real quick. So, yep, okay. I was worried that I may have accidentally just deleted that perfect the one there. So if I can get the hash command correct. So let me go ahead and hatch this bad boy. Let's take a look at him. So he's huge, which is nice. Jolly nature, obviously, because of the Everstone. So huge, I believe, is the biggest that I can get because the Ditto I'm using is ordinary. So huge is the biggest size we can get. So I'm going to name this guy Perfect because he's perfect, or, well, he's genderless, so I guess they're perfect. But what you could do is you could try to breed this huge Beldum with bigger Ditto to try to get a larger one, but the RNG required would be crazy. So take the Destiny Knot off because that Ditto's done. Let's take a look at any of the sizes of these Ditto. So we got small, okay, ordinary, and small. So unfortunately, ordinary is the largest Ditto I have, and with the largest size I could potentially get is huge. So I have the biggest 100% perfect with the nature that I want. So it's going to be the best Beldum that we can get without giving even more in depth for breeding, which I don't necessarily need to do. But I hope you guys enjoy this. This is our 3rd breeding video that we've done together. It takes me a lot of time to put these videos together for you, so I hope you guys enjoy them. And if you do enjoy them, please show your support. Hit me with a like, comment in the video telling me if you think there's anything I could work on. But most importantly, please subscribe so that we can continue to grow. Thanks for watching. Peace.